Oh, hello. Charles Xavier's a dickhead.
I was pretty confident at what your two S-rank Spider-Man movies are going to be. And then I remembered another one. And now I just within the last 15 minutes, my security, my rock solid foundation has been shaken. I thought I knew you well.
I think you got them. I think you know. You haven't even told me what you think they are, but I think that you will have them.
All right. Well, I'll just hit you with the guess right now.
Yeah.
We're ranking Spider-Man movies, by the way. I think this is fun to go chronologically when they came out.
There we go. We're going chronologically. I accidentally hit a button that switched to a video. There we go. So, we're good.
I guess I could guess what I think your ratings would be. You know what? I'll just guess what your two S's are.
Yes.
I think they are Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Yep.
Yeah. And Into the Spider-Verse.
No.
Ooh, okay. Homecoming. Then.
It's Homecoming. I think Homecoming is a perfect Spider-Man movie.
I was so confident this whole week leading up to this that it was going to be Spider-Man 2 and Into the Spider-Verse. And then in the last 15 minutes, I was like, oh, but wait. But Homecoming is like the perfect coming-of-age Spider-Man film.
Yeah, it's the perfect Spider-Man like comic book adaptation.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that it's perfect.
You don't have to. Just that's my personal.
Yeah. Okay,
we don't even have to rate it S tier or anything. It's just, for me, that's a watchable as fuck Spider-Man movie.
Oh, totally. I'd say that it's
big Zendaya fan. I'm just kidding. It's not because of Zendaya, but she's great. Turns out I have some weird, freaky Zendaya obsession. Oh, I love Dune.
We're ranking Zendaya movies.
Yeah, we're ranking Zendaya movies. They're all S tier to me.
Challengers, it's S.
I haven't seen that yet, but I want to.
Me neither.
Challengers.
Tarzan
should have won Best Picture. The bisexual tennis movie. I think that's what it's about. I don't know. Okay, we're not ranking Zendaya movies.
Bisexual tennis movie.
Bisexual tennis movie. All right. So, starting with 2002's Sam Raimi directed Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, starring Tobey Maguire.
For me,
wow, fun!
Yeah,
like the first time somebody got ripped for a role, you know?
Yeah, like Tobey Maguire of all people, just.
Yeah, I guess Hugh Jackman got ripped to play Wolverine, but we didn't know who Hugh Jackman was before he was Wolverine.
With Hugh Jackman with the Wolverine movies, he got too jacked by the end of them. I just watched Deadpool and Wolverine last week or the week before. Not a big Deadpool guy. I just don't like Ryan Reynolds. But Hugh Jackman got too ripped. Like, if you remember what he looked like in the first X-Men movie, kind of like. I mean, he's in great shape. He's fit.
Yeah.
But then you look at him, he looks fucking insane in like the new Deadpool one. He looks crazy. Like, humans aren't supposed to look like that.
That's what I think. The in between, say the practically innocent days of the X-Men movies, and today.
Yeah.
Been like a change in what you expect from actors doing it.
Yeah. Like, you sign that Marvel contract and then you gotta like get all juiced up. It's crazy.
I've seen like people talk about that
Was checking our sound.
all right. The way that he got in shape to play Ant-Man is that he got like lightly shredded.
Yeah.
But when they do the shirt off scene, because they have to do the shirt off scene because you spent a year to get in the best shape of your life, you're gonna see what's under the shirt.
Yeah.
When he looks flawless. He looks fantastic. He looks amazing. But like he's lightly shredded.
Yeah, he just looks like a middle-aged guy who decided to get in shape. A guy who stuck to his New Year's resolution. For the most part,
Yeah.
and and made it a passion of his. Yeah, Hugh Jackman looks like he's been experimented on, which he has.
Which I guess, hey, Wolverine. There you go.
Yeah, he's Wolverine. But anyways, it's a long way to get to.
So in summation, first Spider-Man movie, I'd give it a solid A.
Yeah, a solid A. A solid A for me. So that's where we're gonna put it.
For any of its flaws, they're just lovable to me at this point. Like, some of the CGI looks a bit questionable, like when he's jumping over the rooftops and
yeah.
And a
lot of the CGI was very tastefully done too, though. There's like, it was, especially the nighttime scenes. It's where it looks the best, obviously. And they were really able to work with the lighting and stuff and make it look really good. But I think it's like a rock solid foundation for the superhero movies to come.
Agreed.
So good that it launched superhero movies.
It's more or less. I mean, again, X-Men.
There was X-Men, of course, but I don't feel
X-Men
like
1 and 2 were already out at this
point. No, X-Men 2 came out after.
Oh, came out.
Came out a year after Spider-Man.
Well, X-Men was in.
X-Men is good, but I don't think it was like it didn't like pave the way that Spider-Man did.
No, yeah, and I mean, I think if we're honest here, Spider-Man had a little help, didn't he? From our friends in the Taliban.
Executive producer Ben Laden.
Him, he put a web between the Twin Towers and caught a helicopter in it.
Yeah,
and that was like the big teaser, and then
I remember seeing that teaser. Before 9/11, obviously. I think it was. I went to go see
obviously
Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Tomb Raider.
Something like that.
Yeah, that summer before, I had no idea they were making a Spider-Man movie, and seeing that teaser, and I went fucking crazy. I was so excited. I was like, I cannot believe they're making a Spider-Man movie, which is so silly to say now.
Yeah, right.
But at the time, I was like, no fucking way. Just lost my fucking mind at that teaser. And spent all year just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
it was a big deal, man. And then when there was that little incident, and then the movie came out later, and then there's the scene when Spider-Man's in trouble, and so New York, the character,
you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Exactly. Oh God, flag shirts on.
A lot of America glazing going on. A lot of ball washing.
Oh, yeah. George W. Bush pulls up himself in a tank and
Hey, Spider-Man.
punches the green.
He gives him like a Mortal Kombat uppercut. I got your back, Spider-Man.
You know, it is something of a superhero myself.
When that movie came out, I was so excited to see it. I was actually on like this
USA on his forearm. Hey,
I was in Florida when it came out on like a, I don't know what was going on. I was on like a little impromptu vacation. And so believe it or not, I had some pretty awful parents. I was with one of them on this trip, just one of them. My parents was on the trip, and instead of being responsible, dropped me and my little brothers off at Universal Studios, like every day and like it was $20, which is fucking crazy. Like,
yeah, that's like that's your park. You know.
That's the park to us. It's just
I see sandwiches under the slide.
Yeah, but then this was back in the days. You know, there's like the midnight releases aren't midnight releases anymore. Showings start the night before at like 7. At the time, midnight releases were at midnight, and I convinced my parents to drop me off me and my little brothers off at midnight in a sketchy neighborhood so we could see Spider-Man at midnight. And we're up until
little sidebar. Were you at, I think I know the answer to this. Were you at the midnight screening of The Dark Knight in McHenry?
Yeah, in Crystal Lake.
Oh no, you were in Crystal Lake, not McHenry?
Yeah, we went to Crystal Lake, the Regal, or whatever it was called.
Because I was in McHenry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were there at midnight. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. It turns out I was at that. My now wife was at that.
Really?
We weren't there at the time together.
That was funny.
You might have been there too. You were there, but just at a different theater.
Yeah, I was there culturally. Just different. Yeah, that's how I saw Spider-Man. Oh, so going to Universal, they have the Universal had the rights to Spider-Man. So they have the Spider-Man ride and shit. I just rode the Spider-Man ride like 1,000 times. You know, pumped for the movie. And then I saw the movie, and then I'm pretty sure I saw Spider-Man at least times in the theater.
Yeah,
I loved it. I've seen The Dark Knight far more times. I saw that far more times in theaters, but saw Spider-Man quite a bit. So, anyways, you give that a solid A?
Yeah.
It's a questionable A.
More about the movie itself, just a terrifical job by Sam Raimi adapting a comic book. That's the assignment. Sam Raimi went ahead and adapted the hell out of a comic. Some of the frames, like I mentioned that some of the CGI doesn't hold up, but so much of it does.
He really got the feeling. It would go on to perfect it, but he got like a very unique aesthetic going there. Some corniness that I don't think he was going for. He would go on to do intentional corniness in the second one, which works perfectly for what they're doing. But in the first one, it's just some scenes are a little too like, this is just definitely a sound stage. Like when the Green Goblin attacks the parade and they're up on the ledge thing.
Yeah.
So much of that
That's what I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, so much of that is the corniest parts to me. But then there's also like
Yes.
stuff that really works good in that.
The same scene when I don't know what do you call them, the investors, whatever. They
Yeah.
like turn into neon green skeletons and then fade to dust and blow away. Like, I love it. I think it looks great. I know that it looks like dated and kind of corny.
It
but
works.
I think it looks great, and it looks like it would look in a comic book.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
And
yeah,
that's
like
okay.
yeah, it totally works because it's not like trying to be like hyper realistic, and that's why it works so well. Like it's a comic book movie. It's Spider-Man. Like people weren't thinking of comic book movies like that at the time. Like doing gritty, whatever. But it still goes to those places a little bit, like at the end, when that last fight scene and everything.
Green Goblin gets speared right through the pelvis.
Yeah, he gets got by himself,
right in the dick, like unquestionably through the penis with the glider.
He ripped his own dick off.
He really he bleeds to death out of his torn ball sack. It's the most deserved death in the history of cinema.
Harry Osborn, what happened? Uncovering the thing. Just somebody stole my dad's dick. Spider-Man ripped my dad's dick off. R.I.P. to that man's balls.
That's the rumor that goes around Gotham. Spider-Man killed Norman Osborn, who was the Goblin, by the way, or at least we found him in the Goblin's costume. Impaled by twice. Once, I'm afraid, through the genitals, which had been removed. It moved Spider-Man to be in possession of the body parts that could not be located at the The twist is he did take him.
Yep, he's got him in a jar.
Cut him off, but he took him. I should.
They'll go to waste. Just doesn't store them properly at all. Just rotting on Peter's shelf.
He throws him in the vegetable drawer. It just slides the moisture all the way down.
Hard. So, all that said, Spider-Man is an A-tier movie.
A, absolute A, man. Wonderful. Willem Dafoe in such an excellent performance and such a great villain. They couldn't resist themselves. Later on, when they needed to think of a good Spider-Man villain, they thought, hey, how about Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn?
Yeah. He ended up being the centerpiece bad guy of
We'll talk about that movie.
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, he went on to a performance so good, he kind of haunted the rest of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. He was always somewhat present.
Yeah, really haunted feels right. Like he was a voice.
Yeah. And then he would straight up just show up to Harry at least. So going into the second one, I'd put it at a very strong S. Spider-Man 2, 2004.
Yeah, this is the one that had Vindicated by Dashboard Confessional on soundtrack.
God damn, what a song. And I am flawed. With
Dr. Otto, Octagon, Octoman, fun, played by Alfred Molina, also known as the guy from the beginning of the first Indiana Jones who died.
Yeah, that is him. Most people don't realize that's him.
It's not a Muppet. Not a guy with his arm up, someone's butt. It's him.
That's the man. That's
Celebrated character actor Alfred
Doc-
Molina. And God,
Dr.
what a performance
Octavius himself.
from him. He plays that shit like Shakespeare, man.
Yeah, he plays the
Really,
fuck out of that role.
he's so likable. He's such a good mentor to Peter.
Yeah, you at the end. It's such a good. That's one of the things that makes the ending so good, is that like when the chip and fries and like he gains control of the arms again and everything. Like he does the most selfless act, and he's just genuinely a good guy. And I was going to say, I can't believe I spoiled the ending. Spider-Man 2 came out 21 years ago.
Spoilers for all films.
But yeah, he does so good at that. Everybody does so good in this, except for
him and his wife. There's like a scene where Peter goes over to their house for dinner.
Yeah,
and there's Doc Ock and Mrs. Ock, and I don't know who the actor is playing his wife, but the two of them have such chemistry that like if they didn't leave the set and just go like knock boots till the sun came up, I don't believe it.
yeah.
I just refuse. Those two were actually married, or my name isn't John Jacob Jingleheimer.
Yeah, they have incredible chemistry.
Fucking, but like they're not necessarily like, neither of them is put there as a as like poster candy. Alfred Molina's not he's not adorning any teen girls' walls. But I bit that bait, and they dragged me up into the boat, buddy. Back me with the door, and picked me up for dinner.
They're not throwing you back.
I'm not going.
They illegally fished for you.
I got up in that boat and I started just gulping in the air. And
and me. Okay.
Whatever all that means. Alfred Molina fucks.
Yes, he fucks hard. He's got giant balls. He's great in it. What was I gonna say? Yeah. The only person whose acting is not so great in it, in my opinion, and this goes for the third one as well, James Franco, his acting ability just kind of, I don't know what he was going for in Spider-Man 2 and 3. In the third one, it makes a little bit more sense. But in the second one, there's this scene...
Everybody's acting.
There's this scene when there's like the benefit thing, and he's supposed to be drunk. And it's like, James Franco, you've been drunk before. He does such a bad job of acting drunk. It's just every scene with him, he's so, oh, my father. And it's just, he misses the mark completely. And it just comes off as like...
I don't feel any... Somebody who's like dad turned out to be a mass murdering psychopath supervillain, and also is now dead, and you did look up to him. Like, there's no gravity to his emotions.
Well, to be fair,
I'm so frustrated. It's like that's the vibe I'm getting.
He doesn't find out until the end of the second one that his dad was the Green Goblin, right? It's the end.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he finds the
I
room.
thought it was just kind of known. How could you not know?
Oh,
they found his body.
Well, Peter took off the Green Goblin costume and delivered a naked dead dad to I guess that'd be kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, as far as you know, murdered your dad and dropped his naked body off your... But anyways, regardless, his acting was bad.
For Spider-Man and my father couple. That's how he
They had a
died.
lover's quarrel, and my dad's dead. Where's his balls? um. Anyways,
They're fucked to the superhuman might of Spider-Man.
the aesthetics of Spider-Man 2 are to die for. They are so good. Really lean into like a 70s vibe. If that makes sense. Lots of really interesting like zoom ins and like shot framing. Hope that makes sense.
So many
Sam Raimi
scenes.
was definitely going for like the 70s, 60s, and 70s vibe of New York and the comic books.
Yeah.
And really creates
I-
a wonderful aesthetic. There's a scene towards the end of it, in particular, Peter and Mary Jane in the coffee shop. And as
I was literally just thinking about it. Go on.
yeah, the thing with the zoom ins every time with there's a big so good. And that's just a small example. There's so much throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. When they're talking, Mary Jane and Peter, that is, they're talking coffee shop, and then like everything slows down because he's Spider-Man, and
Mhm.
he's, what does he see? Is it like in the reflection in her eye? He sees like
Yeah, I think
the
it's in
car.
her eye. Yeah, the car
Yeah.
flies through, and that scene is crazy.
So, and he, takes her, gets out of the way, just in the nick of time. Obviously, there's no way they did that shot practically,
Yeah.
unless you're about to think they did. But
No, I
how
have no
great
idea.
does it look? It holds up so well, and it's like in the middle of the daytime. It's very well lit, but it's they spent the money where they needed to.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it looked good.
Yeah, it looks.
That's
It's so good.
There's this. He stops the train with the webs.
Of course.
Face is revealed, and people all kind of make a decision to not reveal who he is. I love that aspect of, in particular, this Spider-Man. That New York loves him, so they've got his back. Most people understand that Spider-Man is cool. So,
Yeah,
like, we're not gonna rat on Spider-Man.
yeah. The
I
people.
love a no snitches New York. I
Yeah.
love that so much.
Is that yeah? It's like that, and they're like I think they keep saying like he's just a kid, like because he's like a young guy and everything.
Yeah.
It's like that's. It was like almost like the feeling that he's one of them. He's like the working class superhero. They're like, I'm not gonna fuck with this guy. Let's get his mask back on. And
Did you see how this guy stopped this train? It looked really hard.
This guy all right?
Really hard, man.
That scene is awesome though.
Maybe the best scene in a superhero movie still.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say? It's a nominee.
They kind of go on in Homecoming to pay homage to it with the boat.
Yes, they do.
The ferry.
Yeah, with the boat.
That's how good of a scene it is.
Right. Do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fuck yeah. That's
so funny is
that's a thing he would do.
They're so out of ideas by the time they get to Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Let's do the great stuff from the Tobey Maguire movies again.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what this movie really could use? Tobey Maguire.
More Tobey Maguire. Get out of here,
Spider-Man 2,
spammer.
S. Perfect in every way. One thing that I think improves in between Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 is the acting between Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst.
Such chemistry.
Yeah, I think in the first one they don't really have it. Both of them are like perfectly adequate actors, except when they're with each other.
Yeah.
And then in the second movie they're really good. They're like really you can believe that they're going through ups and downs.
Yeah, they're having that Jim and Pam shit going on, and it's kind of it pulls at your heartstrings a little bit. Or it's the classic, will they, won't they? And it's one of the things that makes it work so well. And then the Dashboard Confessional song, you get all up in your feels about it. And and it just works. God damn.
It's stuck in my head already.
The song.
Oh.
Things on the string. Good old. I don't know, it just sounded good. Chris Carrabba.
It's a good pile of words.
It was one of the last great songs he ever wrote. Maybe the last great song he ever wrote.
Another great pile of words. Bad Medicine by Bon Jovi.
I haven't fucking heard that in a minute.
Doesn't make a lick of sense. Your love is like bad medicine.
Your love is like bad medicine.
Shake it up. It's like bad medicine.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water and take my meds.
Yeah. Get it.
Alright. Take my meds live on air. I'm getting a sleep study done on Monday. I get to get a CPAP machine finally. That looks so weird. Wow, I'm really drinking this funeral in, huh? I love water.
I thought you meant that I looked weird when I was going like this.
Oh no, I was drinking my water and then like the bottle, the thing. So, yeah, if I can get, it was blocking out the bottle perfectly for a moment. And my hand, you can still see my hand though. It was so weird looking.
Very ghostly.
The filter effect takes itself very seriously. All right.
You mind if I smoke?
Oh, go for it. I'm vaping.
So, okay. Spider-Man 2. Yes. Yeah. Just
yeah.
Is that the one with the Chad Kroger? Is that the one with Hero?
The first one is with Hero. And
the first one is Hero?
The first one, had two big singles as the Hero. They say that a hero can save us.
Go on.
And then we got...
Shy.
What's that?
Speak it plain, Shy.
There's... And then the other single, Sum 41, What We're All About.
What We're All About was they made that a single from Spider-Man?
Yeah, from the Spider-Man soundtrack. The music video is Spider-Man themed.
Wow.
Them up, they're playing a show, but they're hanging upside, they're upside down, like they have Spider-Man, whatever. They're upside down, and the crowd is on the ground. Song is awful. It's so bad. It's truly terrible.
Rock. We're all about something to live for.
Shout it out. Rock.
That's perfect. Perfection.
Okay, so Spider-Man 3. We got so many Spider-Man movies to get through. Spider-Man 3.
All right.
You weigh in first, because what do you think?
Not my least favorite Spider-Man movie.
Really?
So yeah, I kind of have a bold opinion on this.
All right, go hit me.
My um okay, so it's hard to appreciate this movie for what it is when what it isn't is pretty glaring.
Yes, that's a good
What
way
we
of
have
putting
here is from a from the point of view of a childhood Spider-Man and in particular Venom fan. We have a botched Venom on the
it.
one and done in a film. But he could have survived. Um, I like Sandman. Everybody likes Sandman.
Love Sandman.
That's great. Good stuff. Um, yeah, we got more James Franco happening.
James Franco is the Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Really?
Sounds like a word we might not be allowed to say.
It's a slur for something, but we don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's like a slur for Polish people or something. I don't know.
Okay, so there's emo Peter Parker. There's that whole thing. He does a lot of questionable bad things. Like, why is he reenacting the kiss with the girl that he saved? And who knows about this kiss? Why is he doing the kiss?
He's all
Like,
the people love it.
It's
like,
really
you don't do this, man. Yes, we all want to kiss Bryce Dallas Howard. Do you have a girlfriend? You have a fiance. You can't just, when you're Spider-Man, you're not a different guy. You're still Peter Parker. You piece of shit.
Well, it does weigh in to how you feel about the movie, though, because you spend a lot of the movie really disappointed in the main character.
Yeah, true.
There's a bit when he poses in front of the American flag.
Yeah.
That's like you're down a letter for that. If that happened in Spider-Man 2, it'd be an A.
Yes.
Ding, you're down one.
Yeah, it's like 9/11 happened. We gotta just stop.
All right, New York. Okay. So I would say Spider-Man 3. I guess I'd call it a C, or even a D. Not a D.
I
don't think so.
I could go C on Spider-Man 3.
There are so many compared to like superhero movies. It's not bad. There are many worse.
Yeah, there's way worse Spider-Man movies. It was the first, coming off of Spider-Man 2, you're going into Spider-Man 3, and you're like, oh shit, Venom, Sandman, Hobgoblin, this is gonna be awesome. And the balance of it, none of it works. Venom just completely does not work at all. They barely use the character. And almost the entire time you see Venom, it's Topher Grace revealing his head instead of them doing the classic Venom, which was an insane choice. Topher Grace really was chewing on the scenery, though. Like he took being evil very seriously. And played around with it. He was actually kind of enjoyable when he goes evil, and before.
I don't think that it's his fault that the character didn't work, because I do like his portrayal of what they gave him, and I kind of like the idea of, instead of Eddie Brock being, you know, like a fallen police officer, that he's a not fallen police officer,
Yeah.
fallen from police officer, to him being just kind of like Peter Parker, but he's sure of himself.
Yeah. A confident Peter Parker.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that worked great.
Interesting idea. But
so what I know of the making of the movie
well.
makes all the Venom stuff make more sense. Sam Raimi did not want to, had no intention of including Venom into the third one, but then the studio was like, you gotta give the people Venom or they're gonna freak out. So he had to kind of jam Venom into the works.
Yeah.
And
that
then,
very much feels like what happened.
And yeah, and as much as I like Topher Grace's interpretation, including Venom and everything at all, gunks everything up. But it's not what really delivers the killing blow to the movie that knocks it down to a C. It's the Hobgoblin shit, and I just don't understand their approach at all. It just happens completely out of nowhere, way too fast in the movie, like at the very beginning. So like Hobgoblin shows up and then immediately shows up and gets the shit kicked out of him. And is it right away that he like loses his memory and shit? Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, he shows up, immediately like kicks his own ass, loses his memory, and then we get this Harry that's all weird for the rest of the movie, and then he, the ghost of his father shows back up and is like, "You're evil, Harry. Beat a Spider-Man." And then he shows up later in the movie, but he's all fucked up because he blew. Oh no, this is later. Yeah, he gets all fucked up and burned up from the bomb when evil Peter whips it back at him. So you get this fucked up, and then you get the tearful, dying Harry. Yeah, that part was sick. That was like, oh fuck! All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Isn't that kind of like
somehow?
No, it's not. That's not the thing that makes Peter be like, "Oh, I'm being evil. No more." He just kind of does that to Harry, and he leaves. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, it's somehow right. It's so much somehow Harry throwing the bomb is what it is, and you're like, okay,
yeah,
bad guy doing that, but then like Spider-Man to like whip it back in his face.
Yeah, very un-Spider-Man like. It's like kind of technically Spider-Man. That's almost terrorism. Not really. I mean, he kind of. There was an explosion and Spider-Man was involved, and he kind of just does the walking away while the explosion happens behind him. Not literally, but almost. Feelings-wise, just like, yeah, that happened.
Emotionally, he walks away.
Yeah. It just, the movie would have worked so much better if it was just Sandman. Oh, I want to see what that movie. Some movies are really good at balancing having like multiple villains, and Spider-Man 3 is not one of those movies.
Yeah, I would still say at worst, average. So I'd go C.
C, definitely it's a C. It's definitely, I've seen way worse shit. Like Thor 2 is like, it's way better than like, Thor 2 or something like that. Like, I can't even watch that movie. Lots of Marvel shit feels so like. When I finish Spider-Man 3, it doesn't feel like a waste of time like so much modern Marvel shit does, or like some of the more recent DC stuff where it's just like, oh, like feels like you're melting your brain for 2 hours. So no, Spider-Man 3 is fine. It's just such a significant decrease in quality from the golden standard Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, what's next?
The Amazing Spider-Man starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
All right.
That one.
Now,
No, but
my input on these films is going to have to be from like a vibes standpoint because I have not seen the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies.
Oh, you haven't? I would say. So I guess I'll just rate these. I would put The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, at a B. It's a solid movie.
Wait, give me just a sec.
Okay.
Give me just 1 minute.
Sure.
Right there.
Let me
I should turn off my microphone for this one.
can pull up a video or something. You do your business. All right. So I'm gonna watch the trailer just before I speak too much on this, because I have not seen it in well over 2. Why is there no sound? I don't know. Fuck it. That's right. Dennis Leary was in this.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
I
I didn't realize you were back. Yeah, Dennis Leary playing Captain Stacy.
That's right. Okay, so
Kind of just reviewing the trailer. I don't remember the movie too well. I just remember liking it.
Which one has the lizard?
It's this one. It's the first. Yeah.
The second one has everybody, right?
It has.
It's set up everybody, but they've only got so it's Rhino and Electro.
Yeah, Electro, Rhino, and then I guess you'd call it the Hobgoblin because it's hairy.
Hobgoblin.
Which ends up being, really the main antagonist of the movie. Don't know what they were going for because so it was just that was also a case where Sony fucked everything up with what the movie was supposed to be. They forced the director to not the hairy stuff. The hairy stuff is like the actual like backbone of the plot. It's not so much the Electro stuff, even though Electro was kind of like the main advertised villain. It's really the hairy stuff. Yeah, the movie's really bizarre. Sony forced them to jam in the Sinister Six, and that's like the post-credit scene, or I don't even know if it's post-credit. I think it's the end of the movie.
I don't know, but I know about the basement of Origins.
Yeah. And there's all the suits and stuff. It's like these guys don't even have the jobs yet. Like, I don't understand. It's really bad. But the movie, outside of that stuff, is pretty bad. But it's all right. The Gwen
Okay,
Stacy stuff is good. Like,
yeah, I know clips and little, and I know things about it. I like that he skates. Seeing him skate,
yeah,
I like that.
yeah, for sure. He's really, yeah, he's very likable, Peter Parker. He's not like the best Peter Parker. I think that Tobey Maguire might be the best Peter Parker. As in when he's not Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is definitely up there for best Spider-Mans, as in like when he's in the suit and the way he talks and like interacts with people. He feels the most like Spider-Man. Tom Holland does pretty good, but
he's quipping while he's flipping.
yeah, he's likable. He plays it when he's Spider-Man and he's in the suit. That Andrew Garfield's like Peter Parker definitely like plays up his New Yorkness. Like he kind of puts on a little bit more of a New York accent. 'Cause, like it's like I don't know. He's really he does a really good job at that part of it. Especially in the second one. There's a scene when he first encounters Electro and he's trying to like de-escalate the situation, and he's very likable as Spider-Man. But I guess you'd have to see it, so it's hard. It feels silly to talk about because you don't really have input on it. But so if you don't mind me grading these, I will put amazing.
I watched like a 15-minute video of a couple of guys talking about the two Garfield Spider-Man movies to kind of prepare for this part of the segment. Maybe I should have just like watched them both at double speed. You know, back in an hour and a half.
It's fine. I mean, like, it's like it's not a movie I could, in good conscience, be like, you have to see it. This first one,
that's
maybe.
my vibe. Is that I like.
Yeah, it's not really putting it on the to-do list.
Yeah, and I don't remember them coming out. Like I remember all the other Spider-Man movies coming out. I don't remember those happening. Whatever was going on in my life at the time was not moved.
Yeah. I saw both of them in theaters, I think. Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I lived like next to a theater, so I saw every movie that came out when those were coming out. Yeah, I'd put Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, at a B, and Amazing Spider-Man 2 at a D. Amazing Spider-Man 2 could have been so much better without studio interference.
Yeah, they made them shoehorn in all that stuff to set up the third movie.
Yeah.
But then ends up not happening because they got all excited to make a deal with Disney.
Yeah, in the years afterwards, they weren't even pursuing making Spider-Man 3. They wanted to do a Sinister Six movie, and this is something that would go on to plague them, and still does. I think they finally just killed off the idea of making a Spider-Man villain verse. They killed the idea.
Finally given up now with what was the latest one was Kraven.
Yeah, they announced before, like a week before that movie came out, they're like, we're not going to be making these things anymore. Like, thank you. It's like, remember when Morbius? Like, nobody's going to see Morbius, and then it turned into a joke, like a meme, and then they brought it back to theaters because they thought they'd be able to make some money off the meme. And it's like, I'm not going to see Morbius.
And so I think that there's saying is that as far as Spider-Man movies that we're going to rank, we're doing movies that are about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like
I wasn't gonna put Venom or anything in these
right.
because
And
those
to
don't
also say
feel.
like not Captain America Civil War,
Mhm.
not call that a Spider-Man movie, although he does make quite a memorable appearance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't put Civil War in here. I like the idea of just with home. Well, let's move on to Homecoming.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah, but so with the Sony movies, just yeah, there's about a dozen fucking terrible, loosely based on Spider-Man villain movies that
yeah,
they made. If I think the only one that I might put above a D, no, I wouldn't. I didn't. I don't like Venom. I still don't like it.
Venom.
I
Yeah,
haven't softened on it over the years. I still don't
it
like it.
it doesn't work for me. It's not a movie I'm ever like gotta watch Venom.
No. Yeah, it's yeah, I'd any of them either D or lower. Any of those.
Yeah, it's they're just bad. They haven't made one decent. Every movie, almost besides the Venom movies, every one of the loosely based on like Spider-Man villain movies they make ends up becoming a meme for how bad they are or how bad they look. The Madam Web trailer. Did you ever see the trailer for that?
Yeah.
When she's like, my mother, before she died, my mother spent 9 years in the Amazonian forest researching spiders. And it's just the craziest. Like, stop it, dog. It looks like an Arrested Development, like, joke trailer for something in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Like,
Not
it's
a
so
real
crazy.
movie.
It does not feel real whatsoever in that line. Yeah, Sony has got remarkably bad instincts when it comes to franchises and shit. Just really, really bad instincts. They have almost fucked everything up with the newer Spider-Man movies so many times. Remember there was the thing where it was like, I think it was before they made the last one, No Way Home, where they couldn't sort their deal out with Disney and like they were going to end the movies completely, even though Tom Holland is like, the movies were humongous. And they just remarkably bad instincts, but they made some decent movies with the newer Spider-Man. As we mentioned at the top of the hour, yes, my S tier. I'm not going to put it there yet. We'll discuss. Spider-Man: Homecoming is an S tier Spider-Man for me.
Yeah. I could see the one argument I could maybe make against it is that if you were a big nerd who cares really, really deeply about this sort of thing, you know, he's a unique sort of Spider-Man dealing with the unique sort of Spider-Man situations in that he's dealing with Iron Man all the time. He's like Iron Man's protege, and he's dealing with, and he's not just like learning how to control his abilities. He's learning how to work with this suit.
Yeah, the suit is like a character, and it's
Spider. Traditionally speaking,
yeah,
you know, Spider-Man learning to deal with the AI suit.
Yeah. it's stop it, dog.
But I'm not one of those big nerds who cares about that sort of thing, and I like the movie.
Yeah, I apply my nerdiness where I feel like it's needed, and it's not. That's also not a thing, right? I think it was an interesting the way they incorporated the Avengers and Marvel stuff into it. Is it exists in that world, and then there's like Well, I know. I mean, like as the movies go on, it definitely becomes more loaded up with that stuff. But I like how like the movie starts, and it's the Vulture's sort of origin, like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
My God, we'll touch on like how inspired a choice it was to cast him as the Vulture, but like he's just the cleanup crew for the attack on New York, and then they were like retrofitting the alien technology into like modern day weaponry, and becoming arms dealers of alien technology. Kind of sick.
Just through happenstance and through like government intervention.
Yeah.
Wasn't welcome and wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way that they set up that character is fantastic. Twist reveal is like one of the best.
So yeah, the twist is so goddamn good because that it's him the whole like that he's the Vulture the whole time, and the fact that the twist isn't like, oh, he's the bad guy. It's like Peter's girlfriend's dad is the Vulture. It's such a goddamn twist. It's so good. And that whole scene when he's dropping him off at the homecoming dance, and that monologue that Michael Keaton gives him is, I'm gonna kill you and your whole family if you fuck with my stuff. He's so scary. He's very likable though, and he's and really good like feeling of him sort of being working class. Yeah, because it was like the trade it was like, you saved my life, I won't tell anybody who you are. It's a nice trade-off, and it's like in the great tradition of the villain kind of coming to his senses. But in his case, there was no like outside influence. He was just being a greedy guy, and then like when it came down to it, it's like it was valuing his own life over like the material possessions and shit. It's actually like kind of pretty heartfelt and kind of, I wouldn't say deep necessarily, but deep for what they usually, the outrageousness of like superhero villains usually are. He's just a working class dude.
Yeah.
Who's just like literally he had no evil intentions. He's just like literally that's it. It's just he wanted to maintain his like upper middle class lifestyle. And that's the whole reason he did everything he did. He was not trying to take over the world. It's such a good first Spider-Man movie because he's just the neighborhood bad guy.
Yeah. And he probably doesn't realize the implications of like what his arms dealing could lead to.
Yeah. Like how powerful those weapons really are and like what they could go on to do. And there is a place for it, and they never really went there with it. Like they could have gone on to have villains who were using the tech or whatever, but they didn't. But yes, great. Before I harp on too much about the movie, or the villain rather, the scene when Peter's in the suburbs and is trying to figure out. Well, he's trying to get to the arms deal, but there's no buildings and he can't, and he's just running. It's so funny. Yeah, exactly. Without the buildings, he's fucking useless. And that's part when he crashes into the girls' tents. The little girls who are camping, and his suit is all fucked up, and the eyes are all like, and the scream is so fucking funny. But the great little Ferris Bueller just scene and like literally they show somebody watching it just to be like, it's an homage, like we're not ripping it off. Oh, so good. I love it. Donald Glover, it's cool that he was in it. He's the Prowler. Well, I mean implied, but he is. It was cool because I know, like, before Andrew Garfield was cast as Spider-Man, people are trying to. There's like a whole campaign like, make Donald Glover Spider-Man, and it like almost happened, and of course they didn't. But went on. He went on to be in Spider-Man. Cool. Yeah, that's an S tier for me. I love how at the ending, when Tony takes Peter's suit away, Peter just puts on his original suit and does the shit anyway. And all he has is like his powers, and he doesn't have all the tech. He's so, I gotta do my thing. I gotta stop this guy. He risked certain death and did it anyway, and saved the bad guy.
It's kind of like, it's almost like what they did in Spider-Man 2, where he like loses his powers and then has a moment where he has to be a hero without his powers.
Yeah.
You know, and then that ends up helping him get his powers back. He's realizing that at his core, he is a heroic person. He is someone who wants to help. It's necessarily bound to that by his name. So they don't need to be a burden on him. They can help relieve something that he's already inclined to, which is
Yeah.
It's kind of like that because he loses the suit. He's still
Yeah. It's the same idea though. Like, it's just, yeah, they're close enough. And I think, I don't know, I always really liked that. That just, he is so, it's what he does. He made an oath to himself, not necessarily to anybody else. It's just like, they're counting on me.
How do they put it in The Amazing Spider-Man? Who's playing his uncle in that one?
That was Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen, thank you. Yes. He says, your father always believed that if you have the ability to do the right thing, then you have a responsibility to do.
Yeah.
You know, he got around the basic vibe of the.
Yeah. With great power comes your Spider-Man.
With how did the again, I never saw the movies, but I liked that the Amazing Spider-Man seemed to do. They like dealt with the mystery of what happened to Peter's parents.
Yeah.
Usually, it's just he just doesn't have them.
Yeah, they're just kind of
one. They were like spies or something.
Yeah, some government or
secret train,
corporate, whatever. Yeah, but doesn't it turn out? Was it his dad at the end of the second one? I think that's where they were planning on going with future ones.
A deleted scene.
Yeah, where his dad's still alive and is actually the one running the Sinister Six stuff. I don't know. Who gives a fucking shit?
I'll agree with you on an S tier for Homecoming.
All right.
It's really a made film.
Yes, it feels so well made.
Yeah, it's like low stakes, but like you're on the edge of your seats. And
yeah.
You really feel the weight of what Peter's dealing with, and that he's struggling to deal with it. And even though he is like a super powered person with $1 billion tech suit,
yeah,
like it's hard for him to break into the Washington Monument.
Yes, exactly. Like he gets stuck.
The only tall thing around.
Yeah, and he's having such trouble with it, that's so funny. I never even thought about that. Yeah, that, and when he gets stuck inside the facility, and he's just talking to his suit.
Yeah,
and
Your powers can't help you here.
He's just like,
Yeah.
what can you do? And then having to wait when the door opens. It's not even a struggle to get out. He just jumps on a truck and he's out. But then he's useless again. He's just got to sit on the truck until it gets close to DC.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Then,
it balances everything so well. Makes everything feel like it has the same stakes. Like he's also like a high schooler who's gonna get in trouble because like he's on a high school trip. And
yeah, he missed the academic team meet. What the
yeah,
hell, man?
and that feels just as big as him like saving everybody at the monument.
Yeah, right. Ah, but he let his team down.
Yeah, it's so good. It's a great.
Yeah.
It's really nails. They nail exactly what they're going for. It's like John Hughes made like a. It's like a John Hughes Spider-Man. Let's say.
Totally.
So yes, so S tier Spider-Man Homecoming. So the next one is the next
Far
one
From
is
Home.
Is the next one Far From Home or is the next one Into the Spider-Verse? I guess we could
Right.
let's okay, no, Spider-Verse is the next one. Yes, it is. Kind of a little side story here because it's Miles Morales. But these are Spider-Man movies. They're going on our list. I don't know. I guess I'm also tempted to put that one at an S. I mean, revolutionized animation.
Yeah.
Really is amazing looking. Can't even think about that goes for both Spider-Verse movies. They're great. I don't have anything bad to say about them.
Oh, they're awesome. They're wall to wall, super duper cool, and such a faithful telling the story, but also completely. It's so original. Like,
Yeah, you can't compare it to anything else. It's
just dripping with originality and coolness.
and just style.
Yeah, just styling. and the storytelling was so great, and I think of if you're gonna make a Spider-Man movie that's about the Spider-Verse aspect of Spider-Man, because that's a big part of the character. Better
Yeah,
to do it animated, I would say, because it's
for sure.
easier for me to suspend my disbelief in that sort of situation.
Yeah.
An animated movie versus say in a movie that we'll be talking about kind of soon.
Yeah, and just the way in S, yeah, for sure. So that's Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, not Across is the second one. Okay.
Yeah, Across would be the second. Oh man, just what a movie! Kingpin, so brutal and so.
I love how he's huge. Like he's like literally like because they put the stylishness first. That it's physically impossible that he's that huge. Like he could not be in a car. But like they don't care. They make him humongous. He's the size of a bus. Like
Yeah, and that's right because I think like comic book wise, if you're going to be real nerdy about this, I think Wilson Fisk is typically like in the high 6 foot, like he's 6'10" ish.
Yeah.
And like I'm like 500 pounds, but it's like
all muscle.
Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all muscle. He's just pure scary. Yeah. It was such a good interpretation of and just way to put him on screen. Is like
the look of him.
You're not trying to do like realism in any sense. It's just he's so much characterization is just put into his like what you're seeing. It's just like you get all you need to know about him just from looking at him. He's imposing and scary, and it rules. It's such a good fucking. Gotta change the font size. Getting cut off.
I like that he's not like didn't make him like he's not stupid, you know.
Yeah.
He's also not necessarily himself like a mastermind. He's just
Yeah, he's just the kingpin. He's
powerful. He's criminal. He's willing to do what it takes to get what he wants, and what he wants is very sad.
yeah, yeah. And then going there, it's not about being evil. He wants his family back. It's very human, and yeah, it's such a great man. God, there's so much good shit to say about that. The different Spider-Mans are great. Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir. They're turned that into that's becoming a Amazon series. They're doing a Spider-Man Noir series starring Nicolas Cage. Live action. Yeah. I think they're done filming it. Like they're in post-production. Then you got John Mulaney's Spider-Ham, which is one of the great characters ever.
I'm proud of movies. Comes on the screen. Like, we did it, guys. we made
it. We got Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham is...
He's here. Funny. And he's funny as shit. When he first shows up and he goes to shake hands, he's like, "Don't worry, why are my hands wet?" And like,
my hands are.
Don't ask why.
My hands are wet because I just washed. No other reason.
No other reason. Yeah, they're all great. And then you got the nice little surprise, the surprise little mini villain there, and Catherine Hahn's Dr. Octavius. When it turns out, that part's great too. Another great, we're in the woods. What the fuck are we gonna do? Moment with Spider-Man's. Turns out, stick to the trees. Well, and that's the introduction of Spider-Gwen. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool because it's like of the Spider people to come. He's like the first one. This one you finally get to see like Spider-Man or when like us a Spider-Man at their peak. Like,
yeah,
a truly capable and ready Spider person.
The one at the beginning, the one that dies, you mean?
Oh no, I mean when Gwen shows up.
Oh,
the one that
gotcha.
dies.
Yeah, the one that dies, I guess he wasn't that capable. That was a cool Spider-Man, though.
Yeah, well, I think maybe, he had to die because...
I think your connection...
Die for
he had to die, why?
Well, because somebody has to die to propel Spider-Man to greatness.
True. Yeah. I mean, I guess they go on to expand on that greatly in the second one. Oh shit. Sorry. I guess we don't really have to go into the second one. They're both like just kind of discuss.
I'll lump them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just put Spider-Verse movies at S.
Yeah. Watch them together. Watch them back to back. Make a night of it.
Spider-Verse movies 2018 and
don't worry
2023.
About that the animators had to put up with to make those films.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny.
What they are.
A friend of mine, forever ago, over 10 years ago, had a comic book. He made a comic book, like a independent, self-produced one, and his illustrator went on to work for Sony's animation department and directed one of the Spider-Verse shorts that played before the Spider-Verse movies, and so I'm assuming he'll be a director of a major film. I think he's got a major film project coming out that he's the director on. Just a cool thing. Just like
It's awesome.
I've got that dude's autograph somewhere. I'm buddies with him on Instagram too. Really talented guy. Yeah. But yeah, the thing you just brought up with like somebody has to die to propel Spider-Man to greatness. There's that thing where they all the different Spider-Mans had to kind of realize that kind of doom moment. What is it? Gwen is her father was gonna die, and they all had that moment where it's like, what if I could save my person? Like you'd undo the fabric of reality. That happens in the second one. Pretty sure it does. I know that's like a major thing. It's been a while. I haven't watched that since the theater. I should really rewatch that.
Shall we move on to?
Yes, to Spider-Man Far From Home.
Too long, too confusing. You need to watch like 13 Avengers movies in between the last one and this one to fully comprehend what's going on. The guy comes in with like this multiverse business and everybody buys it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Like, without any question at all. And I don't know. Yeah, okay, so he does it all with special effects. Mysterio's a classic villain. Really glad that he's around. I know people want to see him on the screen for a long time. I really enjoy how it's like a team of people, and it's not like one villain.
Yeah.
Like how it's like one of them is the kid from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, Ralphie.
But I watched it once and I had a decent time, and I have not felt inclined to watch it again. See?
Yeah, could be. I feel the exact same way. It's not something like if we're go like occasionally. Yeah, what did I do?
Well, great action scenes for what I did say, but
yeah, the use of like the drones as like to fake destruction was cool. Like,
yeah.
So we got stuff we got villains we're probably never gonna see actually utilized, but like Hydro Man or whatever.
Elementals.
The elemental ones. They like they're not gonna make those aren't gonna be main villains of. When did that come out? 2019. Yeah. That sounds right. Yes, it was 2019. Yeah, so it was a cool way to include villains we're never actually gonna see like as main character villains. Let's just see them.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a pretty bloated movie. The idea of a sort of a international Spider-Man story was intriguing, but it kind of just doesn't work. Something about it, you don't remember it being that way. It's just a lot of Avengers crap. Like, too much of it.
And I guess it's so much that I forget that Peter and MJ, that like their relationship new level in that movie.
Yeah.
But that's like a struggle that they're having throughout the film.
Yeah. Ultimately, yeah, it's kind of a forgettable movie, but it's just competent, and it was cool to see Mysterio.
Competent, cool action, cool fights.
Yeah.
It's really cool at the end when like learns to trust his spider sense more than his other senses, and he has like his suit, his superpowers, like his strength. Those aren't enough to deal with the problem. He's got to tune it out.
Yeah.
Trust his spidey sense. figure
Yeah.
it out that way.
Yeah, that
does.
is really good.
So that's cool.
That was a really good thing they did at the end. And the very ending of it, I think, was a it's a great very ending of the film, because I like it how it's kind of a callback to the way the first one ended, which is pretty goofy. You know, Aunt May walking in. You're all, the movie's ending in the first one, and it's all good for Peter, and hell yeah, did my thing, and then forgetting that he lives with his aunt, and then she just walks in, just like, what the fuck, and then like it cuts off, and then this one, the second one, cut off the same way, like with the doctored footage to make it look like Spider-Man killed Mysterio, whom everybody loved for some reason. And then it's Peter who's like, what the fuck? There's a great, like, truly didn't expect that ending. It's a kind of a new thing, at least with the movies, like, that people would know who Peter is. And a great way to bring Jonah Jameson back in. I love that, like,
Yes.
there is no replacing J.K. Simmons. They're like, we'll just do that again. There's no weird universe stuff about it. It's just nobody's good else is good enough to play this role. And then making him an Alex Jones type guy, fucking awesome. Such a good idea.
Yeah, cool, man.
Imagine a world where Alex Jones' show is so big that it's being played in Times Square, though. I'm making the freaking frogs gay, but you're at the M&M store.
You know what? I might go like B plus. You're talking me into it. The more nice things we say about it, like B plus. I don't know about A. I don't know if it's like I'll put it on the same tier as the original Spider-Man, but like I would say watch it. You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's what the B is. Maybe B is good. B is perfect.
Okay. Yeah. B. Yeah. B. I think B, a solid B.
I've been wanting to get to No Way Home.
Yeah. This is, that's our most recent Spider-Man movie. This is the finale of the episode. So I know you've got some complicated feelings.
War.
Yeah.
He's about as big a part of Infinity War as anybody else is, because I think even like Iron Man has a total of 6 minutes of screen time in that movie. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, Peter's a huge part of Infinity War. I like Infinity War.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Like, it feels silly to say it because, like, Far From Home is kind of bogged down by all the Avengers crap, but it's an Avengers movie, so all Avengers crap. But
this one gets to do that. It's not a Spider-Man movie. It isn't a.
Yeah, Infinity War is one of the all-time greats. It's the real doom and gloom of it, and then it ends on doom.
And
watching Spider-Man literally turn into ash and then blow away. Tom Holland acted the fuck out of that part too. You feel so sad for him.
Yeah. I guess I'd give Infinity War a B.
Yeah. I'll throw it on the list. I won't do Endgame because Peter's not really in that. Infinity War was 18. Yeah, he had that scene that's so sad, the way when he's like realizing, like, oh god. Yeah, so he had a scene very similar to that towards the end of Homecoming, when he gets buried underneath all the rubble and stuff before the final fight, and his acting is phenomenal. He sounds like a scared kid, like he can't breathe, and he's like freaking out, and he thinks he's gonna die, and his acting is just incredible. Like, I remember, like, almost like he's watching Homecoming in the theater, and his acting was so believable, the way he felt like he was gonna die. I was like almost teary-eyed because it felt like listening to a teenage kid beg for his life. And I was like, oh my god. It was Tom Holland is a good actor. When he wants to be.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. So No Way Home.
Okay.
No Way Home.
This is my least favorite Spider-Man movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not a movie I ever go back and rewatch. I think it's very overrated.
Yeah.
But
there's so many times during this movie that it was simply a storytelling failure killed my suspension of disbelief.
yeah, I'm right there with you.
It wasn't that anything looked bad. It wasn't that anybody did a bad job acting. It wasn't that the spectacle of it wasn't amazing. Of course, when you see all three Spider-Men coming around the building together and they hit the pose in front of the American flag.
The pose and the American flag should have just been behind Tobey Maguire's. Like, it's just part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Well, Tinkerbell flies above him and sings an American.
I think like the way that they marketed it and created up kind of made like a fake hype that became like a real hype with like keep it all secret about whether or not Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield would reprise their roles, and then like
go out there and outright lie.
Yeah, just all the lying and stuff. It's like, we know they're gonna be in it. Like, you don't do the secret shit. Like, just put them in the marketing. Like, and then then you could like make. They could have done so much better with having the three Spider-Men throughout the whole movie instead of like they show up at the end. It's kind of like sense. It feels so. It's like a twist is coming. So
it's the whole thing. Really, the whole movie. To me, it insists.
It's what?
It insists on itself.
That's a perfect way to put it. Like, it's so.
No. It's we've got to get to the three Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Fucking.
It's like you watch the whole thing and you're waiting for it. It's just like, let's just do it. Just come on. I like.
Really, okay, so let's talk about the plot of the film. So at the end of the last Spider-Man film, Mysterio, who everybody liked for some reason, outed Peter Parker as being Spider-Man, and everybody knows that he's Spider-Man. That's a problem for him.
And the whole reason he hates Spider-Man he doesn't even hate Spider-Man. They all just hated Tony Stark that much. But Tony's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, so
and they're faking this.
So they have Peter Parker as Spider-Man. That's a problem. So Spider-Man is on trial for the murder of this guy, and there's like evidence against him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so like that's a big problem for Peter Parker for sure.
Yeah, he's got to get a lawyer.
So he's got to get a lawyer. So we go to the Marvel Universe for a great lawyer.
The best.
Mr.
Matt Murdock.
Take your pick. You get Matt Murdock, best defense lawyer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I agree, and that's awesome. So we have a Daredevil cameo. Yeah. But that's all we get. We have them sitting in the living room with him, and he says these charges aren't going to stick. And that's the first act of the film, swept neatly under the rug, dealt with, like waved away by Matt Murdock, by Charlie Cox.
Yeah, what the hell's going? None of it. Wait, hang on.
There's no more courtroom drama for Peter Parker. I thank you. I'll catch a brick. I'm blind. Goodbye. And that's
the kind of all
that's it.
the legal trouble he was in also doesn't make sense. Hang on here, because like there's the Avengers. All that money,
Because
he
these
can't
charges
get
aren't
he
gonna
can't get
stick.
an Avengers
He's
lawyer.
literally-
He's got Matt Murdock working pro bono. But anyways, we'll move on.
Anywho,
Him and his friends
So-
can't get into college
yeah,
because he's
they can't get
Spider-Man.
in because they know him or whatever.
And MJ and whatever his friend Ned, they can't get into the college either because they're accomplices of Peter. And then Peter's all, I'll talk to the lady. She's on a bridge. So therefore something terrible has to happen.
Oh yeah, so so he goes to his friend Dr. Steve and he asks him to make everybody forget that he's Spider-Man. And then because he's talking while the world's greatest sorcerer
It's like cooking up his
Yes.
spell.
so he as he's talking, he mucks it up so that everyone who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man is brought to this universe.
Yep. Except
So
for the
where's the trainload of people that pulling down from the front of it?
they all show up too.
Yeah. And
Joey
then he
Diaz
said, hey, you
shows
mess
up.
with him. You mess with all of us.
Yeah, where were
awesome.
those people?
Would have been better. That would have been a better movie if they really stuck to it.
A Doctor Strange portal opens up and the train just right into Times Square.
And yeah, so here's the whole fight with Doctor Strange to get the book. And
That fight was pretty cool. That was like all the weird,
it was pretty cool.
like
It was very cool. And a lot of the movie is very cool. It's very captivating to watch. There's a lot of great action. And oh no, Norman Osborn is back and he's very scary. And yes, he is. He kills Aunt May for some reason.
well, it turns they're all that's like the plot though. They're all like evil and they're making an antidote to their evilness.
Yeah, right.
And
Luckily,
he's just crazed.
Literally, hey, luckily we have the machine that can make anything.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's just like it's like when a movie, like an action movie, is really bad because like before they even make the plot, they make the action like set pieces and the action scenes are planned out, and then they have to form a plot around it, and that's like really what this was. It's like we got all these people that were in the other ones, and let's make a movie. And it feels like they started making the movie before they figured out what their plot was at all, because it's just kind of that's what it is. They're like making an evil antidote. It's just like you don't need to do that. Just give them some just give them the med I take. Just give them some Valium. Apparently, you don't need to make like a serum. These guys just need to chill out.
All that super villainy you used to be up to.
Yeah, like it's just you don't even need to give the thing to Dr. Octopus, just the chip thing. Take it out of him. They do, and he's chill. So then you do get a weird kind of fight at the end there, where some of the villain guys are helping out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But you got Norman is your big bad, which is fine. I don't mind that. Like, and then having that, let's call it the Avengers universe, Peter going to rage kill him and then being stopped by Tobey Maguire character and all that. That's fine.
Andrew Garfield saves Zendaya. Him, 'cause he didn't save.
That part was great when he saves them. The Zendaya MJ, and then he's got the moment of the. Well, you didn't. Well, you know that Gwen Stacy dies in Amazing Spider-Man 2, of course. So that was actually a really well acted and written scene.
I'll give those movies additional points for having the balls to do that.
Yeah, to actually go through with it and kill off Gwen Stacy was such a move. That feels like something you either do very early into a series or at the very end. They did it. But yeah, having that Andrew Garfield saver and then like getting his moment of successfully saving. It's not his MJ, but it's, you know,
good quality fan service.
I wouldn't even call it fan service. It's just it's personal to the character. Like,
the whole movie is fan service.
Oh yeah, the whole movie's fan service, but that moment felt very sweet and genuine because he's like overcome with emotion, loses his.
That one felt earned.
When he saves her and she has no idea of the context and she's like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Yeah, this is weird." So, but I liked that part.
Yeah,
I like the chatter among the Spider-Mans. That was fun. Like. Yeah. When Tobey Maguire's all like, my back, because we see his back get fucked up so much in his Spider-Man movies. The train, like, you know, like his back's all fucked up still from the train. All the times he's like falling off a building.
And it was like a story in the news at the time. Like he was considering, I think, not doing the third one.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing where Andrew Garfield's character cracks his back for him and he's like, oh my god. And then the whole thing where they find out that Tobey Maguire's webs come out of his wrist and it's not web fluid. They're like, what the fuck? And he gets all like self-conscious about it. He's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. That's actually really funny. Like, how fucking fucked up they are about it. The fact that it comes out of, like, it's his body produces the webs. And they're all like, what else is going on with your body?
You've convinced me again, sir. I think that I like it more than Spider-Man 3. Because now that we've talked about it, I kind of want to watch it again. There's some things I'd like to see again. I'd like to see the 3 people nailing around.
Yeah, it's making me want to watch them, too.
Yeah,
it's got qualities.
It does sound like a good time.
I think the thing that really gives it a blow to it is how much it just feels like like you just said, like it's the fan service, the movie. It's just too much.
Yeah,
it's like the movie's sucking its own dick, like sniffing its own farts so much, and it's so sure of itself. So it does. But there's some great stuff in there. Some like the Spider-Man's talking when the villains are all normal-ish and they're all just like in the elevator together. It's pretty funny. Pretty good.
Good.
Brutal. Some brutal fight scenes too. When Norman first like goes crazy, ultimately ends up killing May. Like that fight scene is like a 10-10 holy shit fight choreography fight scene. It's brutal. Like it is not a huge action set piece type of fight either. It's like fist fighting crazy shit. Yeah, and then May dies, and then as she's dying, like one of the twists, she's the one who gives the great power, great responsibility thing. I liked that. I love Marissa Tomei. She gives me a boner. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, He's looking good.
Lifetime achievement.
Yeah. Would you call that a B?
I'd go B. Yeah, I think that it's a movie worth watching. It's better than an average movie. It's not better than an average movie. It's a very average movie, but it is very confidently well made. It's very. It does cool stuff and it looks cool. It, you know, so
Yeah.
it's a good it's a good ride. Some movies tell a beautiful story and they're masterfully done, and some movies are a super killer theme park ride, and that's a super killer theme park ride. It tries to do some of the other stuff, but it's really they had to get to the Tobey Maguire's back.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
had to get them.
They had to get them, and yeah, it's always a bit of a bother when you or when the fan service is just laid on that thick. What am I trying to say? Yeah, it's just it's a little too much, but it's workable. There's a good movie in there.
Let yourself have fun.
Yeah.
But it's not good. But it's fun.
Yeah, it's not a great movie. It's a fun movie. I mean, it's like every other Spider-Man movie in the sense that it's very much a popcorn movie. We're not trying to make the greatest film of all time here. But Marvel fans... Yes, of course. I mean, like, that was... all the S-tier stuff is, like, precedent-setting. Like...
Yeah. Like Spider-Man 2... Homecoming even, and Into the Spider-Verse. Like Spider-Man 2 teaches me a lesson. Like thematically, it's a message with Peter's struggles with he's got performance anxiety.
Yeah.
Very relatable, isn't it?
Yes.
Like,
and we learn, and
then Homecoming teaches me lessons about like storytelling, and how things can be grounded, like in action and in characters, but they might not even realize the wider implications of it anyway. And then it's his girlfriend's dad.
Yeah. It's a great exercise in making a big story that is ultimately small because it takes place in such a massive world. There's so much lore and so much in the background that they don't really dig into. It's just kind of, that it's going on. Like, it's hard. I mean, it's hard when like, obviously Iron Man in it, but like the Hulk exists in this universe. Obviously, like Daredevil, Thor, there's gods stuff, and still being able to tell a story that feels like it's a John Hughes Spider-Man pretty good without constantly referencing the stuff we know that's going on. And I want to see more. I guess you can't really like make a movie like Homecoming again, because then you're just stealing the idea of Homecoming. They never kept trying to. They didn't keep trying to remake Homecoming, which was nice, but the things that came after it were underwhelming. I think because Homecoming is so good, it's so much its own thing. You can't just keep remaking that. It's like a John Hughes superhero movie. It's just like that only works one time. You get to do it once. They nailed it. That's why it's S tier.
I heard that the next one is going to be they say it's going to be more like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm about it. Like, I'm here for it. But like like kind of where No Way Home leaves off, made me excited to see like a Spider-Man that is like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man at the beginning of like Spider-Man 2. He's broke. He's got to actually have a job because he got to afford this shitty fucking apartment that he's in. And he's never going to get any sleep because he's going to have to work all day and then be Spider-Man like at night. And then he's also going to have to find obviously he's going to be a photographer. So that'll work for him. It's shit pay, as we've seen. They're gonna stick with that, but it's a job. It'd be funny to see him work like a retail job and not having to be like, I gotta go on a smoke break, and he's off nabbing some bandit. Whatever.
Yeah, he has to be back at work in 15 minutes or
exactly. He can't stick around for the police paperwork because he's got to get back to work. But yeah, so obviously it works.
Pokemon Go lore. It's a 15-minute timer. And
then Spider-Verse. I mean, that changed everything. It changed animation and made people want to see something other than just simply computer-generated animation. They wanted it showed like the amount of different dimensions, and it did things that animated movies should have been doing for a long time by just messing with the medium a little bit. Like, you don't have to fill up the entire screen at all times with moving things. Like, that's one of the things that gets so well, is like sometimes it's just little parts of the screen are just, there's no other color than like, some small little thing. And like the animation just got better. Like in the second one, it's like literally like every fucking frame is a painting. Like the art becomes so abstract at certain points, especially in the second one, that goddamn.
It really feels like it's rock and roll filmmaking. Whatever needs to be on the screen was not to necessarily abide by any traditional rules or conventions. Blend styles and
they're trying everything, like just
super duper
doing not what it takes. Like they definitely like sometimes they're throwing the entire fucking kitchen sink in there, but like because it makes sense at the time. But then being that it can just the range it has can be so minimal, and then like such cool little things like the choppiness of like Miles at the beginning. If you notice as the movie goes on, my wife pointed out to me like his personal frame rate increases as he becomes better at being Spider-Man.
Yes,
which is so fucking cool. Such a cool choice, and it's cool to see people do that, and then to have seen now the impact that those movies have had on animation is so widely spread. I've seen so many movies since then that that haven't copied the style, but they've copied the approach, where it's just like, oh, we can do like crazy shit. We don't have to just keep making Shrek looking shit all the time. Like the Ninja Turtles one is awesome. That definitely bit the style of Spider-Verse for sure, but then did its own thing completely.
It did its own thing. Yeah, totally.
It leaned more into like trying to almost look claymation, but not claymation, but like the idea of like the way things moved and stuff. What other movie? Puss in Boots definitely took concepts that they were using for their animation.
You seen Dogman?
I did see Dogman.
I think that Dogman is like Dogman, Spider-Verse had to like pave the road.
Yeah. Yeah, Dogman really goes in on that almost claymation style, like even more so than the.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. It's really appealing to look.
Oh, absolutely, and it looks just like a Pokey book.
Yeah, my son has been obsessed with Dogman. So we had to go see it in the theaters. I did nap a little bit. I can't help it. It's just, it happens. But I liked looking at it. I wasn't blown away by the jokes and the humor. Some of the jokes really hit. It was really funny. It was goofy. Yeah, I liked it.
I thought it was really, really good. But anyway.
But yeah, that, like you said though, like that.
Yeah.
Heavily inspired. Like, wouldn't be made if it wasn't for Spider-Verse. There's so many.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a future.
It's gonna be, like sometimes a movie will come out and it'll like stylistically set the standard for like years, like Jurassic Park.
Yes.
And I think that in animation right now, everybody wants to make the Spider-Man. They want to make unique looking, bombastic, awesome.
Yeah, which is good for everybody because like animation really needed a kick in the ass. Like,
and there's been so much good stuff. There's been so much good stuff lately.
Stylishness,
Mitchell versus Machines.
Yeah, that's a great one too. I think the guys who made the first Spider-Verse, the whatever the names are, those guys made Mitchell's and they didn't bite the same. They didn't like copy the style that they used for that, but they like definitely carried some
Gordon
of their.
Miller.
Oh wait, no. Well, I'm talking about like the guys who produced all this stuff. These guys never. Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Yeah. Those guys. They've done a ton of stuff. Everything they touch seems to be genre precedent.
They've done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing, but those guys are interesting.
I'll wrap this up. I want to go to the bathroom. And
just a quick side note. I don't know if there's going to be more Spider-Verse movies because they are.
Yeah.
The guy who does the voice of Miles like went insane.
Oh shit!
Oh, you don't know about that?
There was production trouble making the second one, particularly involving making sure everybody got paid enough.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it will come together at some point, but as far as the voice acting goes, the guy who does the voice of Miles has been crashing out super hard online. He got like obsessed with the voice actress for Gwen Stacy.
Oh.
And when she got engaged, he very publicly. What's up? Oh yeah, I think so. She got engaged recently, and he like went insane. So we'll see what the future of Spider-Verse holds. Let me just blow up the tier list here, just so I can screenshot it later. Here it is, folks. You can't see it, but we got S tier Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and the Spider-Verse movies. A tier.
So
yeah. A tier is the original Spider-Man movie. B tier, we've got Amazing Spider-Man, which might actually be a C, but we'll leave it at a B for now. Then we got Spider-Man Far From Home, Infinity War, and Spider-Man No Way Home. In the C tier, we've got Spider-Man 3. And in the D tier, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 2, which might be an F. And we have nothing in the F.
It's a failure to launch, is what it is.
Yeah.
Boy, were they promising a big third movie that never ever happened.
Yeah, the studio itself and not the filmmakers kind of ruined the potential for the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So I can't rightfully give it an F.
I think all the more reason to give it an
give it an F.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as a body of
Everybody
work.
who worked on the movie did their best, and it shows.
Yeah.
And it's through studio meddling and overbearing story manipulation to set up a third movie that they themselves then abandoned
Yeah.
when Disney came by dangling that golden carrot.
Yeah, it just the Sony especially, like I said already, incredibly bad instincts. Need to be usually the studios are right when it comes to a lot of stuff. Sony is rarely right. And that's the trouble with coaching young talented directors and having them direct these enormous projects. It's so the studio can retain control over everything because they're working with young and impressionable talent, and then you end up getting
It's either
shit.
that or you pay for Ron Howard.
Yeah, exactly. And like Ron Howard, you don't get to give him notes, like, and so like,
he'll make you a good movie.
yeah, he'll make you a fantastic movie. I mean, like, he's who Lucasfilm went to when the Han Solo movie wasn't working out for Chris Miller and Phil Lord or whatever. And
Hey.
Solo is a great movie, and people will come around to it
In time.
But all right, we're signing off.
Yeah, man. Good times.
Good times indeed. All right, so long, Brian. Next tier list we got coming your way will be fun. This one was fun too. Don't get me wrong. But I'm really looking forward to the next one. I'm doing some research, digging into the
fun
brain.
ideas in the pipeline.
Yes. All right. Well, so long, friends. Salute.
Midwest goodbye. You as
Yes,
well. No,
yes.
you hate.
No, you hit disconnect.
No, you.
All right. Take it easy. Oh no. Where's my outro? Oh, just
To all the trolls out there, get a fucking life. Get some mental help. Quit being obsessed, compulsive obsessed about me. Otherwise, you really have a problem. Good night. To all the trolls out there, get a fucking life. Get some mental help. Quit being obsessed, compulsive obsessed about me. Otherwise, you really have a problem. Good night.